Hi, boys and girls. Teacher Laura here. It's story time, and we are going to read our book. The title of a book is Tea with the Queen. This is the front cover, the back cover, and the spine. Remember, boys and girls, we take good care of our books. Try not to drop them and throw them because it does break the spine. And when the spine is broken, the pages start to fall off, and then you won't have the information that you want to read. The author is Christy Hart, and Stephen McGorian. Okay, so let's open up this book, and I will get the page ready where we're going to start to read. But before I read it, I want you to look at our vocabulary words. Queen. This is the Queen of England. She rules her kingdom. She is the queen. Queen. Tea. Tea is something that we drink that comes from leaves, and we drink the tea. It's so yummy. I like to drink warm tea. It keeps me warm. London. London's a city where the Queen lives, and the Buckingham Palace is in London. Here's the Buckingham Palace where she lives. The Queen lives in Buckingham Palace. And this is the goose. The goose is a character that we have in the book. This is a real goose, but the goose in the book, he is the one who flies them to London, right? Like you get in the airplane. It's a little fictional little story. This is a rose garden. The little characters land in the rose garden. Rose garden. And these are corgis. These corgis are dogs that the Queen has. She loves these kind of dogs, corgis. All right, let's start our story. And we're going to open up to the first page and read. Hang on to your hats, Charlie, Grandfather said. We're in for a bumpy ride. Too late, Charlie said, trying to catch his yellow school cap that spun into the clouds. Uh-oh. So that's telling us it's a little windy, right? Yeah, it's a little windy. Charlie and his grandparents, Harriet and Arthur, stared straight ahead as they traveled in the Royal Air Express. This was no ordinary vehicle. It was a large goose named Percy. This was the first time Charlie and his grandparents had flown by goose, and it was strange, but yet comfortable. So it looks like they were enjoying their flight, like it was comfortable for them. Never mind your hat, dear, Harriet said. Just hold on tight. Where are we going again? Grandpa, don't you remember? We're going to the Buckingham Palace to have tea with the Queen. Oh, yes, fancy that. But why? Because you are 100 years old, Charlie said. That's what happens when you reach 100. You get to have tea with the Queen, and you can bring 2 guests. So he brought Charlie and the grandma. Suddenly, a gust of wind blew them sideways. Won't your glasses fly off? Charlie asked Percy. Don't worry, Master. I have taken the trip many times at this altitude, and my glasses haven't flown off yet. Hold on, I'll show you. That's why the goose is looking back at them. Percy did a 360-degree loop. Whoa, I hope they were holding on. Causing Charlie to squeal with delight. Whee! Harriet and Arthur went white as a sheet. Oh, Arthur shouted, don't do that again. It was too scary. Grandpa, Grandma had packed their bags a week ago. When she received a letter from the queen inviting her for tea, she was glad they had dressed warmly in tweed coats and their hats. It was cold in the clouds. Charlie could smell the salt in the air as he traveled along the east Anglian coast to London. You can smell the sea. Seagulls flew all around them, making loud shrieking cries. That hurt his ears. He was nervous. The gulls came close to take a look at the strange spectacle of 3 mice traveling on the back of a goose. Hungry? What if the seagulls are hungry? Charlie asked, realizing he could be next on their lunch menu. He was sure he heard one say, he'd be right with a few chips. He wasn't too happy about flying on a big bird either. He preferred to be on the ground, tucking into a ripe hunk of salted cheese. Here they are. We're going to fall off, Charlie yelled. Look at the great view down there, Grandma Harriet said, trying her best to distract Charlie. Thatched roofs, stone cottages, and wooden windmills were blowing. And we're going to stop right here, boys and girls, and continue the story tomorrow. We will continue right here in this page and read the story and finish it tomorrow. Thanks for listening, boys and girls. We shall see you tomorrow.